Hey, everybody, welcome back. In the first video, we were talking about how do you eat that elephant, right? As far as go high level and setting up all of those little marketing pieces. So let me share my screen and we are going to jump into the second little piece here. So let me open this up. And let me come back here to this little document. Now, if you just happen to land on this and not on the first one, I'm just showing you this 10,000 foot view of all of the different features and mini apps inside of HighLevel's all-in-one marketing system. And I said, what you really need to focus on if you're new is let's just focus on these capture elements. So what do I mean by that? The first video, we just talked about how to create your opt-in form. Then today, what we're going to talk about is how to create a landing page super easy without you getting lost in the woods. So follow along here. I am inside of my HighLevel account. Now, depending if you're using somebody else's white label account, things might look a little differently, different colors, all that kind of stuff. But over here on the left, this is where you find all the main menus, so to speak, okay? Whatever you click on the left, then up at the top, you'll see some corresponding choices or submenus based on that, okay? If I clicked on automation, we're gonna see something different up here. So the first place to start, click on sites. And coming up to the top, what are sites? Basically, it's your funnels, websites, stores, webinars, blogs, all that kind of stuff. And in the other video, we created a form. Well, today what we're going to do is create a funnel. Now, let me come back here just for a quick minute, hide this for a second. Sometimes people get a little confused. What's the difference between a funnel and a website? A website is all encompassing your umbrella, so to speak, that talks about everything that you offer, talks about your background, all that kind of stuff. A funnel is singular focused. So in other words, one primary end goal, and you take them to the end set, okay? So let me hop back in here and let's take a look at setting this up. Another little side note here, I recommend that you create folders. It's going to make your life a lot easier as you go down the line. For right now, I'm just going to jump in and actually create a new funnel. But normally I would create a folder and then all of the pages, the funnel pages, all of that kind of stuff live in that folder. So we're going to create a new funnel. Excuse me. Now, you have three choices. You can create from blank. You can use the AI. As of this moment in time, January 2026, I don't think the AI is that great. I just bypassed that. Or templates. Let me hop over to templates just for a second. And I just want to show you. So when you come in here, you over to the left, you could browse by category if you wanted. So if I just wanted to look at the business coaching consulting, and then here's all of these pre-made. So this is great if you wanted to just use a pre-made funnel page here. You could, but let me come back here and look at you eyeball to eyeball again. If you're just starting out, I would not recommend that, because if you don't understand the software and you don't understand how it's built, and you're going to see in a minute how easy it is to build things, depending on how they built that funnel, sometimes there's some little hidden gotchas in there. I think it's great to get ideas and all of that kind of stuff, but just stick with me. For your very first funnel, let's just do it from scratch, okay? So don't be afraid. You can't blow up anything, so just jump in and try it. So starting over again, I'm going to click New Funnel, and I'm going to say from blank, and excuse me, you need to give it a name. Now, if you're using a white-labeled program from someone else, they may be giving you a lot of templates. Quick little shortcut, especially if you're not using folders, you might always want to use your initials at the beginning of everything you create, or sometimes I like to use little emojis because it just helps me find things. And sometimes I use both, okay? So what I'm going to do is we've created the opt-in form. What we're going to do now is we're going to create a quick little landing page. So landing page test. Okay, how's that for not being creative? All right, so I'm going to go ahead and create it. And once it creates it, it opens it up, and we're going to come back up here at the top. Notice we've got the title. This is for the entire funnel. You're going to see here in a minute, you usually will end up with at least two pages, the landing page and then a thank you page. And you might have other pages like shopping cart page, an upsell page, all of that kind of stuff. But most of the time, you at least have 2 pages. All right. So don't worry about the rest of the stuff up here. We're just getting you started. So we're just going to say create a new step. The name of the page, this is what you see. The outside people don't see this. So be very explicit. So if this is my landing page I'm just going to say book opt-in giveaway. You can be as descriptive as you want. Okay. The path, this is what the people on the outside see. So starfunnels.net / so we have to put the / and here GHL training. Okay, I'm just going to call it that for the lack of anything else. So the path is what people are going to see. If you're promoting an opt-in to watch a webinar, you may just call it /webinar. All right, so that's all, the only 2 decisions. You don't have to worry about the third here, and we're just going to create the funnel step. So now if we look over here to the left, here's all of these steps or pages that we're creating. And in the middle is that first thing. And so you just come down here and you click the edit button and it opens it up. What you're going to see is basically just a blank sheet of paper. Now, again, it's promoting generate with AI. I'm not impressed with the AI at this moment in time. So over here on the left, I'm just going to click out of that. And I'm going to start adding different sections. So let me come back here for a quick second. Again, this is for people just barely, scratching the surface. They've heard about HighLevel. They want to get started and they're just overwhelmed. Let me explain how the builder works. Do you remember those little Nestle? They're like Russian little dolls. When I was a kid, I loved it. You took the head off. Here's another doll. Took that out. Took the head off, here's another one, and so forth. So you had all these nested components. Within HighLevel, it's the same thing. You build components. So the first thing you have is this page, okay, this blank page, so to speak. And then what do you have in that? We start by having sections. Within the sections, we have rows. Within the rows, we have columns. And then within the column, we have different elements. All right. So just think of that nested doll, and you can have, unlimited sections, unlimited rows, and so forth. And why do you want to break it up instead of just one big old chunk? Because you can modify the formatting just very specifically for each section, row, element, and all of that kind of stuff. All right. So let me jump back in here. Hopefully that made sense. So we've got this clean slate. Just ignore the stuff in the middle. Go up to the top here and you're going to see these little icons. Take a minute and get familiar with it. So the little plus, we're going to add an element. But let me just briefly talk about the layers. That's going to be your best friend going forward. It helps you find things, okay? Pages, if you've got multiple pages in your funnel, you can navigate back and forth. There's a bunch of stuff here, but let's just click on add an element. And remember I said we start with sections, rows, elements. I'm going to add a section and then we can decide full width, whatever, the width of it. I'm just going to say full width. And now notice I've got this green line around it. So now I've got my section. When I click on it, notice this little gear shift here to the left. I'm going to click on that, and that opens up all of the options for the section because I have the section selected. And you can give it a name if you want. You don't have to. So if you're first getting started, don't worry about all of this stuff. But once you start building kind of a complicated page, it's nice to at least name some of your sections. I'm not going to talk about all of the different things. I just want you to create a quick and dirty little page. The only thing I'm going to do down here, background color, I'm going to add a color just to help you keep track of what I'm building, okay? Here's my header section. I'm going to click add. What am I going to add now? I'm going to add a row. And do I want a 1 column, 2 column, 3, 4, and so forth? Because this is my header row, I'm just going to add a 3 column. It's going to make more sense in a minute. And then if I hover over, notice now I had the green, now I've got the blue, which is indicating that it is a row. And then if I come down and hover a little more, this purple shows that now this is the column. So over here, the far left, I'm going to add And what am I going to add in here? I am going to add an image. There's my image placeholder. And because I have the image selected, then I get my options on the right. And let me just see if I can find my, what is that thingy called? My logo. Where is it? Sometimes I get so many folders, and when I'm on camera, then I can't look and talk at the same time. So I'm just going to scroll down and find one of my logos and insert it. So there it is. Okay. Now I could add, sign up, call me. I could do whatever. I'm going to come back to this later. So here's our first row. Now this image is kind of big. If I wanted to make it smaller, I could just change the height to 125. This isn't the best logo because it's got the white background, but again, we're just trying to crank this out. All right, now we're going to go up to the plus. We're going to add a second section. I'm going to drag in a full width, and I'm going to change the color just so you can see my different sections. I'm going to add, this time I'm going to add a headline. Then if I hover over the headline, I'm just going to click that plus. I'm going to add a subheadline plus a paragraph. So I'm talking about whatever it is that I'm selling. I'm going to add an element, and this time I'm going to add a section. Now notice it's still inside, I'm sorry, not a section, a row. It's still inside of this section. And now I've got a 2-column row. And here I'm going to add a picture. Did I pass it up? Where's my image? Okay, they keep changing the little buttons, and no, that's image slider. Here's image. I'm just going to do the image placeholder, and here I'm just going to put subtext, and maybe I'm going to do a bullet list. Okay, so you can see that this page is getting built out. Now I'm going to go up to the plus. I'm going to add another section, and I'm going to put it at the bottom. And then my bottom section, I'm going to make it a dark blue. Then I can go back to add, and I'm going to add a row. And whoops, actually I added the wrong row. I want to add maybe a 4-column row. Let me try that again. Okay, and there's my 4-column row, and I could add my social media prompts. Now let me show you something else that's kind of cool, not to overwhelm you too much, but when we add sections, you'll notice that there's something called pre-built sections. So because I'm building my footer down here, if I click, there's all kinds of things, FAQ, call to action, all that. But if I click footer, here's some pre-built ones that I could just use. And for sake of demonstration, I'm just going to grab this one and bring it in here, close this window. And so now this is a pretty complicated one, but then I could just add the different details here and I'm good to go. All right. Or I could actually delete things that I don't need, and there it is. Okay, so we're almost done building our page. So do you see how easy that was? We added the sections. Within the sections, we've added the text. We've decided, 1 column, 2, all of that kind of stuff. And then the last thing we do, we come up here, we click the save button, and the first time, actually, I think every time we save it, this SEO pops up. This is where we have to give we want to be as descriptive as possible. So I'm just going to say Starr Funnels free discovery call, give it a little description. Schedule your free discovery call. Okay. You can put keywords, author, all that kind of stuff. I'm just going to update that so it's there. Publish it. When I click the publish, it's going to say that I don't have a domain selected. Don't worry. So I could connect it to a domain here. I don't know if this is a live domain or not, but we'll just add it there. And there it is. Okay. And I could actually preview this. Here's this little eyeball up here on the top right. And here's what the page looks like now. So you can see we've made a lot of progress, and things are looking pretty good. All right. So let me come back here and talk to you for a quick second. So what have we done so far? We created our opt-in form. And then we created just a super simple landing page. What I'm going to do in the next video is talk about, okay, we've created that form. Now, how do we get that form inside of the landing page, and what do you do with it afterwards? Okay, so I'll see you in the next video, and take care.